My name is Edgar Venegas. I'm the director of Spark It Up, and we run the I Represent Secondary Schools Cultural Festival.
My name is Louie Naumovski. I'm the founder of the Logan House Fire Support Network.
My name's Christine Naumovski. I work for Logan House Fire Support Network. I'm one of the co-founders.
My name is Joel and I'm the director of Hope Within Reach, and our heart is to make sure that everybody in Logan who has very little is supported and connected and filled with purpose.
I'm Joy Patterson from Greenbank, and I run, along with Louise, the Greenbank 50 Plus group, which is for men and women of ages usually above 50, and our eldest one is 89.
Taloflava, my name is James. I am a New Zealand born Samoan, and I have been part of Logan Youth Farm for the last 2 years.
So the group started with a couple of local people actually and myself back in 2006, or just before, when there was a lot of issues around gangs and young people in the community, and we wanted to try and fill in that gap of getting kids out, sort of like not getting into mischief, but also being able to achieve in their schooling and in the community. So we created this event back then actually called Spark It Up, and where we had a lot of people that from different backgrounds that could speak to the students around achieving and their stories about their own lives and achieving in their own personal goals. So we identified the need with a number of people from the community and the local police working very closely. We noticed there was a lot of kids getting into gangs and different cultural groups, and there wasn't a lot going on other than them participating in their local schools or churches, and there was a lot of angst and tension between those cultural groups. So we identified that with a number of community organisations and council, local council and the police, to come up with this concept where kids could get involved in participating in cultural performances, but also bringing out guest speakers who are from different backgrounds, that they can speak to the students about their stories and also achieving in their personal life. As we transitioned over the last few years, Spark It Up came up with a name for the event, which is I Represent, and that really specifically speaks about how proud we'd love the young people to be about where they're from. A lot of kids come from different backgrounds in this community, from local Indigenous communities, even different Australian groups. We wanted to identify that by the word I represent, being proud of who you are, being proud of where you're from, but also showing the community that that you are valued and your skills and talents are noticed. And hopefully there is a difference and a change that supports the young people to achieve in their community and in their schooling, and eventually go on to all sorts of things for their own personal life. So the benefits we're seeing is less crime, or hopefully getting kids not to be involved in criminal activity and violence, but also participating within this group. Throughout the year we run different programs sometimes, where we go into the schools, and it culminates in this big event at the end of the year. And so our outcome is participation of young people, but also the outcome of bringing the community together and those different cultures together and different schools together from the local community. I believe it's important because it brings the community together, but also encourage those kids that are from different backgrounds who might have been bullied or might feel like their family have told them that they're not able to achieve in life. And we really encourage those kids that, hey, no matter where you're from, no matter what background, no matter where you've come from, that you have that same opportunity to achieve with the right support within the community, but that right support within their own peer groups, that they're able to make those differences in their own life and make those changes.
Well, basically we started after a devastating house fire in Slacks Creek, city of Logan, Queensland, 12:04 a.m. On the 24th of August 2011. The first of 31 000 calls was received by emergency services. Unbeknownst to all them 31 000 calls, 11 people were trapped inside that burning home. 3 adults and 8 children. They all perished.
We just felt the need to help in the community, and after we helped with that fire, we then were called into another fire to help, and we realised there was a need in the community for a service such as ours where people can turn to someone to help them rebuild their lives after they lose their possessions and sometimes their loved ones in house fire.
We continue to help the surviving members of that family. There was an ongoing support, not just from the local community, from the state and from the nation.
We identified the need in the community because when we were attending these house fires, people didn't know where to go to get support for accommodation, support for food, clothing, furniture.
The local community keeps picking up the pieces after a devastating fire. We saw the need to continue the help in the community and offer the assistance and ongoing support after such a tragic event.
The ongoing benefits to our organisation are that we take some of the stresses away from the local services in the community. I think the importance to our work is that essentially that we can give people back what they've lost. We may not be able to replace their personal items, but we can help them build a foundation to start gathering those items again.
We continue to go to house fires and we make sure that everyone is looked after and has a roof back over their heads in the immediate aftermath of such a tragedy.
I guess it was pretty simple. I got kicked out of home when I was about 19 and I was on the street myself and I saw the problems. I saw what I went through, I saw what others went through, and I had to do something. I saw how so many people just talked about it. There was so much good intentions, but I actually wanted to get out there and do something proactive and make sure that although I may not be able to completely prevent homelessness, I want to make sure that myself and my team can support it, and there is so much help for people in those tougher areas that other people just avoid. We would rather be right out there in the gutter with the people who are struggling. I think one of the things that we do a little differently is we sit with people. We have dinner with them. We're not sort of a group that sits back. We're right there with them, and we're trying to build a bit of purpose in the community that a lot of the homeless guys can not only come, but they can also be equipped to help others. And I think that's something that we do that's a little bit different. And when it comes to identifying it, you've just got to look at someone, and I guess it's a lot of life experience. It's a lot of just seeing a person and understanding where they're at instead of going, oh, a homeless person. You actually understand because A, I was there, and B, I have a heart for it. I reckon the community is wonderful in Logan. There's such an awareness, such a heart for it. We have people like butchers who give us food for our weekly dinners. We have people within the council that are supporting us unbelievably as opposed to other councils. A lot of the people that are already there are building it and sharing the word and sharing with their friends. It's amazing. Some of the greatest advertisement you could ever have is a homeless guy sharing what we're doing with another homeless guy, and then it's another guy, and it's just really exciting from the people on the street up to businesses that are actually passionate about homelessness, because it's the biggest problem we all don't want to talk about. It's very, very real. I think the importance of the work in the community is paramount, especially in Logan where the need is so high. And I feel it is so important because it changes often the course. And I think the importance is it empowers people to help others. Some of the greatest ambassadors for homelessness are the homelessness who get the food out there where I can't always be there, shares it with others, and creates this culture where people are shifting their focus from themselves to others. And it's small and it's got to start somewhere, but I think that's what's important, to getting young people excited about community work and to getting people on board with shifting their focus.
Here in Greenbank we don't have very much. Most of us live in the country on acreage. There's lots of lonely people, and we didn't have anything like that in our area. And I felt there was a great need for people to get out, as I have a heart for the lonely people. It all started a long time ago when I was invited to a meeting called Community Development. Everybody on the Community Development was working for Logan, but I went and sat for a good few weeks, and I said nothing because I was trying to work out what was going on and what really community development meant. And after quite a few weeks, they said, now what do you think? And I said, this is what I want to do. I want to start a group for all sorts of things for men and women in Greenbank, and I have got no idea how to do it. I've just retired and I need to do something like this in my community. And they led me all the way through it, and that's what brought me to do Greenbank 50 Plus. I work quite closely in the community, either with the councillors or different people, And therefore I was hearing from people, we don't have anything here in Greenbank. They weren't prepared to travel to any farther. They come and take their cars. This is a central place. It is needed by every community, not just because we live out in the sticks, but it's really, really nice for people to come together. There are so many lonely people, and it's sad to think that, you know, some of us could sort of help them and get together. It's a big thing to start, I have to tell you, but you know, now as we're 4 years into it, it's been absolutely worth every single moment we've put into it.
So the Logan Youth Farm started in 2012, towards the end of the year. The groups sort of came out of an event that occurred in the community where two groups fought against each other over race relations, youth issues that went on in the community, and there were other issues that were involved. Youth from the community felt that they needed to speak out about issues about the youth. There was an adult sort of conference that went on after the event, and no youth from Logan Youth Farm were invited to that to give their opinion or their voice, as they found that, you know, since it was being a youth sort of crisis, they needed to be there so that they can find solutions to issues that occur to them. And now we have over 50 young people involved in the Logan Youth Farm. So it started with a small group, and now we've seen it expand over the years. So over the years, the group has formed a few workshops. They've been in planning of creating an outreach camp for young people. We've been involved in secondary schools in the Logan region, also within the primary schools. We've been invited to other community events where Logan Youth Farm has participated, and also been involved in creating and planning youth events. With the workshops that the Youth Farm have initiated and delivered, it was based on social behaviours, looking at anger management issues and how we can overcome other issues such as the media portraying that, you know, migrants or people from different backgrounds have had an influence on these sort of crises in our community. So we have created these workshops to sort of support and encourage young people to know who they are and how they belong in Logan City.